Alright guys, so in this next video, I'm going to be showing you how to do two-step inequalities. We've done two-step equations. This is done the same way except with inequality. One of the things you have to remember, if you multiply or divide by the negative, you reverse your inequality. Now that means that the number next to your x or your y or whatever your variable is has to be negative. If it's not negative, you keep your inequality the same. So I'm going to show you a couple different steps here, or a couple different problems and the steps to take. So the first one here, this here. Okay, so let's say I had 4x minus 1 less than 11. So I would solve it like normal. Now, first of all, notice that this value next to x is not negative. So this will stay the same the entire way through. I'm going to add 1 to both sides of my inequality, and you might just want to just draw your inequality again all the way through. So nothing happens to my 4x here. There's that. 4x, and then the negative 1 plus 1 is 0, so we don't have to write that anymore. Less than 11 plus 1 is 12. So this is saying 4 times something is less than 12. So I take and divide by the 4, and x is less than 3. So that is how you do the first step there, or sorry, the first problem that I have. In 1 second. Sorry about the delay. I had to grab something to wipe off the board with so I could do another problem. So let's do another problem here. Sure that's set up good. Okay. So now let's try 5x plus 18 less than or equal to negative 27. So this is all the same way. Now this is negative, but this is not negative, so we're not going to change the inequality again, so that's going to stay the same for my first little operation here. This is a positive 18, so obviously I need to subtract 18 from both sides of my inequality. Then nothing happened to 5x less than or equal to, and be careful here, negative 27 minus 18. So if you have a calculator, you can always use it, or you can pull one up on the internet or on your computer. Either way, you can use your phone, however you need to do it. So this is negative 45. Then I'm going to take the 5 here and divide it into negative 45. Also remember, this is going to be x less than or equal to. Negative divided by a positive will leave me the negative. 45 divided by 5 is 9. So x less than or equal to negative 9. And the last step I want to show you here, or one of the last steps, because I'm going to have to show you one with graphing. So I got 2 more to show you. Negative 3x minus 15 greater than negative 24. So this one here has a negative value next to x. So in the end, when we divide, we're going to flip this around. First, though, we're going to add 15 to both sides of my inequality. Still negative 3x greater than negative 24 plus 15 is negative 9. Now, when I take this, I make sure that I divide not just by 3, but by negative 3. Better there. This inequality, because I divided by a negative, will flip. X Now less than negative 9. Negative divided by negative is positive. 9 divided by 3 is 3. So x is less than 3. Now, also on here is when you have the different graphs. So they could, again, I'm going to just say negative 2x plus 3 less than, let's just say, negative 5. Okay. So you'll be given different choices of the graphs to use. Now, on the graphs, if you have an open circle, okay, on the point where the answer is, you got to figure out the answer first. But if it's an open circle, that means less than or greater than. If you have a filled in circle, a dot, that means less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So this is important to remember. I'm going to give you a minute. Maybe you can write this down. An open circle is greater than or less than on your graph. It'll be a line graph, like a number line. A dot with the filled in circle is less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. So this one, again, now, I said that you had to solve this. You don't always have to solve it. There are different ways. Now, because you're probably given somewhere around the same ideas, but solving that is always a good idea. But I will show you here on a graph here in a second. So, minus 3, because that's a plus 3, we take that away. Negative 2x less than negative 8. Negative 5 minus 3 is negative 8. Divide by negative 2. Because we've divided by a negative, or divide or multiply by negative, in this case we divided by a negative, our inequality flips. So x, now greater than, negative divided by negative is positive, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now, on the graph, I'll take this but leave the answer there. You're going to give you 4 choices about which would be the answer. Remember, this is a greater than, so a greater than or less than has an open circle. So I'm going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. It will be something like this: open circle, and pointing in the same direction as this is pointing. Notice that this can be like an arrow that points in that direction. So this arrow and this arrow go the same way. So another thing you can do is say, okay, let's say they give me 4 here. If I take negative 8 times 4, all right, that's negative 8. Sorry, negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And plus 3 would be a negative 5. So I know that this value has to be the other way because I've divided by a negative. Anytime you see this negative next to your the number next to x, your variable, you know that you have to flip your inequality. So this is one of the things that you're going to have to do. I would just go ahead and solve it and then pick the correct graph. So again, if you have questions, email me or put it on a Google Classroom, and I will talk to you soon.